Badran Gadi is founder of social enterprise Gare Hub, which is helping residents deal with some of these issues. He tells me that problems have become a lot worse in the last few years, exacerbated by rapid urbanisation.
Just 7 years ago, Mongolia was the fastest growing economy in the world. We had a GDP growth of 17.3%. But a lot of that was dependent on mining. And when that came crashing down, Mongolia basically came to a standstill. So much so that we just recently had, 0% growth, basically.
Wow. Okay.
And it's on the road to recovery right now. But we talk about this economic growth. But the reality was, even then, the benefits didn't really fully trickle down to the Gare district residents.
Right.
You started to really see widening of the gap between the rich and poor. This is a potential point of conflict in the future.
We're sitting in something of a hub of the new economy of Mongolia, right?
Right. We're in club co-working. Here we have lots of really vibrant young Mongolians who are starting their own businesses or have cool initiatives going. We start to have collaborations. It's a pretty rare space in Mongolia in general. Because of our kind of traditional ways of moving around in small numbers of people, we've never had experience living in a big community.
In a mass society.
I don't think it's just a cultural thing. There's also the lack of physical space. There's lack of public spaces to actually form those bonds. And so I generally feel we're not the best team players, that we just kind of do our own thing.
Do you think hip-hop has a role to play as a positive force in that?
I think so. I think hip-hop's immensely popular with the younger generation in Mongolia. Mongolia in general is a very young country. We have 70% of the population under the age of 35. I think hip-hop could have an ability to really rally the younger generation.
I'm going to meet NC33, who is one of the new generation of hip-hop artists. He begins by talking me through the lyrics on his track, Anything Can Happen.
A revolution is going to happen soon. I can't guess what will happen if it stays like this. You can never guess who is who out of any of the masked men. All are the same, whichever party they belong to. We've voted for them many times and changed them, but nothing has changed. The structure of the state machine is in total crisis. The country has fallen down to the lowest and is in deep debt. In general, it is a leadership issue. I just think that we need leadership and administration to run properly. And arts and culture are already neglected and left behind.
And what is the answer to this problem of chaos?
I think it is possible to bring big changes through hip-hop music. My ultimate goal is to bring change to Mongolia. I just want to contribute to the ignition of people's rebelling and start the revolution through my music. And when people listen to it, everyone agrees. That means everyone knows how messed up the politicians are, right? So I just want them to be united and to come together. It seems that we are competing too much against each other and divided into small groups. But as we live in a small country with a small population, being united, we become stronger and can do anything.
There's this idea in Mongolian hip-hop of hip-hop artists delivering advice about how to be Mongolian. What do you think of that?
I never say do this or do that. I don't like teaching people. I say that things can have two sides. You can see it from any angle that you choose to. And I feel like that approach is missing for many Mongolians. In general, my songs are about two sides of things, rather than teaching people to do this or that.
This is a very different approach to the previous generation of Mongolian rappers. I can also hear a lot of difference in the music itself. Looking through NC33's music collection, he's got everything from Massive Attack to Kendrick Lamar. Eat up your per diem, you just gotta hate them folk. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes folk.
Hip-hop is 20-30% of the music I listen to. I listen to all sorts of genres. I just keep digging the internet. SoundCloud, YouTube, Mixcloud. Perhaps that's why I sound different from others.
Yeah. Yes, man. I've got to say that is like flow-wise, that's unlike anything I've heard since I've been here. Really sitting in the pocket of the beat. I'm going to meet Budhu, a new Mongolian beat maker. He's trying to bring new artists together by establishing a label, 1 vs 100. Unlike the other hip-hop artists I've spoken to, Budhu has genuine rural connections. Although he grew up in a herding family in Western Mongolia, he's now at the forefront of hip-hop's new generation, mixing samples, field recordings, and taking inspiration from Mongolia's own musical heritage.
When I was young, it was very difficult to get hold of new music in the countryside. Things are more precious when they are scarce. When I moved to the capital city, I bought a second-hand PC. I asked the guy I was buying the computer from to copy some music onto it. He had lots of different albums, including 2 albums of gangster rap, and I started to understand how DJ Premier sampled jazz music. I didn't know about sampling before, and after I found out how to do it, I worked on the Mongolian band Soylirdim's music, cut it, and added percussion. Since then, I've begun to understand how massive sampling is as an art form, and have worked on it pretty much non-stop.
I'm curious to know, in terms of where you grew up, in a herding environment, how do you think that's affected how you make music?
My beats sound a bit different from American hip-hop. American hip-hop loops are very short, almost in your face, and my loops are longer. I think it is rooted in the long songs and has Mongolian style to it. When I think about it, the beats might be closer to the countryside steppes, the vastness. The soul opens up when you hear Mongolian long songs. Maybe it comes from there. I love melodic beats. Perhaps I'm a softie.
I'm guessing you've played your music to your family and the people that you grew up with. And what do they think of it?
My family and my relatives are very far from what I do. They all prefer popular music. I don't go out of my room and join the family celebrations. I keep working day and night with my headphones on. So they think that I am mysterious. They really don't know or understand what I do.
Do you manage to make your living from music, and how easy is it to do? How is it to be a creative artist in Ulaanbaatar?
I guess it is a worldwide problem. It is a big problem in Mongolia. People around you, like your family and relatives, ask you to stop doing this and find a job to earn money. For me, I need to concentrate solely on my music. When I was working as a crane operator, I thought I was losing my direction, doing nothing, spending the whole day in the sky, and not doing what I love. You realize that it is not the job you should be doing. So I completely opposed my family, left my job, and money is a constant problem.
Do you feel in collaboration with the rest of the UB hip-hop scene?
I want to position my music in a different direction from the mainstream hip-hop artists. In Mongolia, trap music is getting more popular, whereas I am holding on to the jazz stream. On our label, there are dancers, DJs, and graffiti artists. Basically, We are a family of artists who listen to good quality music and strive towards creating a community in our capital city.
As a lifelong hip-hop fan, it's really beautiful to me to hear the scene understood as a 360-degree culture, because its origins have always been about collaborating communities of MCs, dancers, graffiti artists and beatmakers, and it's really exciting to see this happening here. So I'm meeting up with a couple of music makers. One is an artist on Budhu's 1 vs 100 label, an 18-year-old MC called 290, and Bayart, who plays the horsehead fiddle, Mongolia's national instrument. We're going to take a trip into the Mongolian steppe to make some music together. I want to understand more about this crossover between hip-hop and traditional music, and I'm super excited to get out of this city and spend some time in the landscape, which is such an inspiration to these rappers. We're driving along a very long straight road through the undulating countryside, and it is stunning. Just wide open skies. And now we're just slowing down and pulling up beside 2 white gears with a dog lazing in the grass outside. And we're coming to see a long song singer. We've just come into the gare. This one space is kitchen and bedroom and living room. All the wood is painted in a very bright, breezy orange. A lot of colour and a lot of care has gone into this home. Bayart is picking up his horsehead fiddle to show me how this music is played to the rhythm of a horse's gait. Like whinnying.
After bringing the livestock into the camp after the sunset, people would enjoy folk music, the oral story, fast tongue twisters, and proverbs. That's how people entertain themselves.
That sounded like hip-hop.
The most important thing is to improve the pleasing and sharp pronunciation of the Mongolian language.
So I'm really hearing a resonance between the rhythmic bounce of this language they're using and hip-hop. I walk like hawk-eyed surgeon, blade for a brain in a city that's dirt grey. See a Kentucky chicken eat person. See a kiddie eat grease for her birthday. Bump baby be coming upset. Mum with the anger well held in. You go make your money. Just make sure the light don't fall out of love with you.
Listening to you, Disraeli, London is a large city. What you see is the skyscrapers and tall buildings. Here we see the vast steppe, valley, and distant mountains. The world.
So now we're leaving the gare, but we're going to try and make some music together before heading back to the city. MC290 has never worked with folk musicians.
Whenever I hear music like this, I get really emotional. That's how every Mongolian feels.
So we're going to play at the huge statue of Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire. And it's quite a monument. It's 40 meters tall, and it's the largest equestrian statue in the world. And he sits on his horse with his brows set, staring into the vast open Mongolian steppe.